Hi there. I've been having a super hard time getting this audio, video recorded and getting it posted up. I did post an earlier one and I was frustrated with it, so I took it down. I don't want to be offensive to anyone, so I'm trying to watch my words. I might trigger you. If I trigger you, I think that's a good thing. I'm going to kind of talk about that today. Our triggers are that go on in our lives, our dramas, and things that really get us going and get us kind of fired up. Those are aspects of ourselves that we need to become aware of, that we need to recognize, bring out of the shadow, and bring forth and process within us. So, I've been a little bit triggered today by not being able to get up in my video, but here I am. I'm going to push forward. So I kind of want to show you a little bit about a scale here of emotions here. This one specifically is saying it has an alpha point and an omega point. It's talking about expanded consciousness and contracted consciousness. When we're contracted, we are in separation, we are disconnected, we are not in communication with our higher self, with the universe, with God, or really with anyone. And this is really a third density experience. We are offered the opportunity to experience separation at its peak, at its greatest definition of separation. But what we need to come to realization for ascension into the fourth dimension is that we need to vibrate at a higher frequency where we come into unity consciousness with one another, where we are experiencing and expressing and choosing love. And to even get to that point, though, we have to start processing what's already in our body that we're unconsciously aware of. And the way it's going to present itself and show up is as a trigger, a frustration, an annoyance. This is something that's showing up for you to heal within you. And I know that sounds crazy. And I struggled with that. I struggled with the idea that my reality was an expression of my inner being projected outward, and that pissed me off because I'm like, no, my reality is not created by me. I would never accept this. What we don't realize is that we are being held at a single frequency band. We have been separated from our information about who we are, where we're from, why we're here. We're in full amnesia. And to get out of this trap that we are in, we have to raise our vibrational frequency to a higher level where we then begin to start to access through electromagnetic frequency within ourselves. We start to reassemble and put back together the pieces of who we are, and it becomes aware in our consciousness. And it's an exciting, exhilarating moment, and I think that we all have the opportunity to do this. So when we're looking at the scale here, when we're going down on the negative, on the negative side here, we're in pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, and shame. So those are really just negative feelings and things. And I see even shame being projected, like in my kids' school. You wear the wrong outfit and they're going to put you in clothing to shame you for the rest of the day. I mean, shame is pushed on us in every aspect of our society. We fat shame ourselves. We color shame ourselves, we race shame ourselves. It's absolutely everywhere. And you know what? Let's just remember, it's a vibration that's offered and we don't have to choose it. So when we're going up the harmonic scale here to a higher, more expanded consciousness, we have courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. Enlightenment. I think we're floating up here. That's where I want to go. I want to go up there and float in some enlightenment and be just really expanding my consciousness, connecting, being one with my higher self, connecting with the universe, with humanity, with everybody. So we have to start realizing where these emotions are coming into play and how they're even being pushed on us by social media, by the media, by the powers that be that want to keep us in a lower vibrational frequency so they can continue to control us, to manipulate us, and to keep us as these prisoners on this planet. But as soon as we wake up and remember who we are, that is not going to be possible. So let's get to it. If we are downward spiraling, this is just a different chart with some different words on it to help you get further wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the emotional scale. So boredom, it starts with boredom. If you're really bored, you're going to start stirring the pot, right? You're going to you got to find something to do with yourself. And if we're on the downward spiral, it's going to be in a negative direction. It's not going to be helpful for anyone. But we have pessimism, frustration, overwhelmment, disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, anger, revenge, hatred, jealousy, insecurity, guilt, fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, and guess what sits at the bottom of that? Victimhood. Now, I've been talking about that, right? Victimhood. So we are at the bottom of the emotional guidance scale, and we are experiencing and expressing and feeling life through the victimhood lens. How are we going to receive the information that is coming to us? It's going to be a pretty low frequency. It's going to be a pretty clouded lens, and we want to not go in this space. This is being objectified across our entire state, our country right now. The victimhood mentality is so perpetuated. Everybody's a victim. Nobody wants to take responsibility for themselves. You know what? That's enough. It's a low vibrational frequency, and we're not going to stay in that frequency. We're going to go here. We're going to go into contentment, hopefulness, optimism, positive expectation and belief, enthusiasm, passion, love, joy, knowledge, wisdom, freedom, love, and appreciation. And I'll say love like 5 more times, because that's the direction we want to go. So how do we get there? Well, first we have to come into realization that we have these negative emotions within us, that they sit at a vibrational frequency within us, and they vibrate, and they pull us down. So where is that? What is that? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's your shadow. So what is our shadow? Well, I have this book here, Lazarus, and I love it. It's working with your shadow. I don't even know if it's available now. It's definitely, you're not going to get a new copy. I have an old copy myself. So it says the shadow is made up of all of the stuff that you have denied, that you discount, that you defend yourself against, that you distract yourself from. All of the aspects of you that you pretend do not exist, or if they do, you pretend that they are no big deal. The shadow is made up of all of the stuff that you learned to resist and that you refuse to accept about you. And this starts at a very young age. It's very, I want to even say, it's not even just cultural. That was the word on the tip of my, but it's not even a cultural thing. I think it's just a human thing. And it's a defense mechanism to protect ourselves and try to justify ourselves. And from the shadow is really where all our judgment comes forth to other people. And so when we start to go into that part of us that we're trying to push down, I think it was The Shift or The Shadow Effect or something by Debbie Ford, and she shows this picture of all of these like balloons filled with all of your shadow aspects of yourself, and you're in a pool and you're trying to push them all down and keep them under the water, and boom, 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 they're all popping up around you. You know what this is? I mean, those explosions are all the traumas and the dramas and all of the friction and triggers in your life. So we can think we're pushing them down or we're hiding them, but they're still going to pop up. So let's dig into that and let's heal that. All right, talk to you soon.